All right, I got a great video. I'm going to be talking about GM and HD. And here's the HD trade. But let's start first with the GM trade, people. I'm grouping GM and HD are great trades for good 200 to 150 to 300% gains. All right, so let's first start with the GM trade. And we're going to talk about the options for both, the reasons why I'm choosing them. Again, don't forget to follow me on Power Target Trades on YouTube. We're going to go over that as well. A lot of great things, people. A lot of great money to make in December here. GM is set up to test 39 to 41 in my opinion, based on the action that we received on Friday, which is this December 02 close. Basically, this is based on the December 02. See, I circle this. That means we're basing this plan based on this action, this day's action. Okay. So GM is set up to test 39 to 41. Right, so there's a great amount of move here. This still could gain another 100 to 200% gains. The January 20th 35 calls are great to use here. Okay, so what do we want this to do before we want to get back into the stock? First of all, I want to see GM needs to break above 36 on some good action volume. Good action volume is 2 million on a 10-minute chart. If the volume is less than that, then watch for basing above 36 and a power move towards 36.20. Okay, so basically, if we don't get the volume of around 2 million in 10 minutes as it tries to break 36, we'll watch it base above 36 and look for power towards 36.20. To get into this, I've made a plan before. We were with the 34 calls. It made a good 150%, about 130% gains. There was a pullback today. Right, so we got in around this area over here, and then we had this little power pop where it's relaxing, and I think we're gonna still go to these numbers, GM. Many ways to trade it. Another thing I want to mention about GM is that it's possible that another way to trade it is if it pulls back and shows support in the 34.5 area, or 35 to 34.5 area. That could be another place to buy. But if you want to add, we'll look to add above the 36 to 36.20 area. So let's go to the options, people. Okay, so here we are at the Yahoo Finance for the GM, on the GM board, where I'm at the options screen, and this is how you can buy options. I'll explain how you buy options, how you trade options. First of all, you need a plan, and this is what you're receiving by you reading. As soon as you see my videos, I explain everything from how to get in, to targets, to which options to buy. I mean, you could buy other options if you like, but these are just a suggestion, an idea. So we're going to go to the January 20th. Okay, this means we're giving this options time, right? And you could trade these options. But right now, as it stands, this is the January. I want to show you why. So these are the January 35 calls right here, See? And right now, you could buy these if you wanted to buy them. They're right now trading at $1.30. So what's that mean? That means for every option you buy, you're controlling 100 shares of GM for $130 roughly. Okay. Now, when this confirms, it'll confirm at around $1.60 to $1.70 area. It could be less. It depends on when this happens. Of course, these options could be bought for, when these options here, when I did the first options trade for GM, you could buy them for about 75 cents, and they're still up about 100%, practically 100%. They were over 100% even to the day. Someone could take profits and buy in cheaper, but that's another story. And as you can see, there's a lot of action here. It's it's traded heavy, very heavy. Look at this, and look at this. Even these cheap 40 calls. They're like, look at this, 10 cents. Okay, so keep this in mind here if you want to learn something here. So keep this in mind. This video here, why do I add this into the video? Because when you come and watch this video, if you want to reference this, you can see for yourself, especially when they succeed. We can compare what I'm filming here to the success, right? And this is the key. Power Trigger Trade, Sandro, me, Power Target Trades YouTube channel. It's all about making money in options. And of course, health and fitness, and that's another thing we'll talk about. Right now, we're going to talk about the GM trade, how to buy options. This is how you could buy options. I mean, you could buy, you could also buy the 36 calls if you wanted to. Of course, these are less expensive, but you know, the more we're in the money, the more money it can make as we break into those areas. But if you want, you could even buy the 37 calls. There's so many ways, but just so you understand that you want to buy a stock that can move. And you know what? GM has been moving lately. You know, GM had a $2 move. That's a big move for a stock. Today's down pullback after its strong gain was 2.8%. So this means the stock is moving. This is a stock we want to own. We also have a very strong trend. And again, that's what I bring up: ideas, constant option ideas. So let's go to the GM trade. The HD. So here I have the HD chart. HD is set up to test 39 to 41. The January 20th 135 calls could gain 150% to 200% gains. Okay, HD needs to break above 130.60 on some good action volume. Good action volume is 600K on a 10-minute chart. If the volume seems weaker than that, then watch the space above 130.60 and look for power above 131. Okay, now I think HD is going to be a great options to buy because there's a lot of potential for it. Oh, do you want to know something here? I made a mistake here with these numbers here, so let me correct what this says. You see 39, that means 139 to 141. So it's good that, and the nice thing about video is I can correct what I wrote down. So keep in mind, obviously it cannot be 39 to 41, right? So we're talking about 139. So HD is set up to test 139 to 141. Okay. All right, so now let's go over and look at the options of why I selected these options. Okay, so here I'm at the Yahoo Finance board where I have the options selected. So basically you can see, you can click on the options over here, and you can do this yourself as well. Again, this is filmed on December 2. Same with the GM, right? December the 2nd, right? Based on the December 2nd close. So let's go to the January 20th options here. And we'll scroll down to the 135 calls. Okay, and so right now the 135 calls are trading for $1.45 to $1.50. So you can buy these options. You can trade, buy these options. Right now, if you were to buy this on Monday, they're trading for about $1.54. That means about $154. You're controlling 100 shares of HD. Now, don't forget, if you want to own the shares, $135 times 1,000 shares, you need $135,000, right? Where for about 1,500, you could control the same amount of share. You can control the shares and have the power of making that kind of money. With a lot, well, you can make quite a bit of money. You know, $1,500. You know, you're, again, if you make 100, that's 100% would be 100. 1,500, 150 would be about $2,000 profit, right? And basically, simply that if HD was to simply even just go to 136, you'd probably be doubling your money, and then 150%, especially to 200%, depending how quickly we get to 139 to 140 area. And then again, if you look at this too, the 140 calls are very cheap right now, and they could be traded if you wanted as well, right? You could buy these as well. Now, when they trigger, you know, we're probably looking at about $1.70, $1.80 area on an estimation, right? And these are probably about 75 cents. The 140 call. So you could buy the 140 or the 135s, but the 135s are going to make a lot of money. They're trading very well. They're both trading very well, the 140s, and that's an indication that, well, it's the pattern, the setup, the time frame alignment. My opinion, HD is set up to make these gains, and the market for these type of base stocks, it's just in favor right now, right? So I can see both HD, and that's why I'm grouping HD and GM in this video as great ways to make a lot of great profits for this December, people. So keep this really on your radar. But again, we want to wait for confirmation. And you want to take profits along the way. And you know, when sometimes things don't work out, right? You want to follow me on Power Trick or Trade on Twitter, on StockTwits as well, because sometimes I make comments. I want to give you an example. For example, I had to make an update for one of my picks. And let me show you that that update. You can see this UNH update. I made this update based on that the stock happened to move. We needed a new entry point, but I wanted to reaffirm people that this was still a really good buy, because you know people were thinking the stock is up a lot. And so let's click on what I said here. Now again, I posted this update quickly on UNH from a UNH plan that I posted on YouTube. So you want to follow me in many different ways. And you can see here's what I said here. UNH is set up to test 163 to 167. We're really close to that point right now. The January 21, and these went up a lot. These really went up already more than 100%. Even when we had to buy these area here, and this was easily to buy in between the 156 to 156 57 area. UNH is still a good buy. This was based again on November the 28th. Refer to your chart, see for yourself, see what happened. And I said I will make comments and need me. And again, this I bases on November the 28th. So let's go to the charts quickly just for you to see if you're. So you can see that this day was the day that I made the update. And this day was the day it triggered. And you can see we opened at 156.93. We had a low of 155.18. And we closed at 157.59. And then we followed through. And there's some nice gains in the options, people. And still the stock is going to be basing and can go higher. But I made that update, and I also made a plan on UNH way before that. So that's why I'm bringing this up. So here we are back at Power Target Trades. Don't forget to subscribe. You're going to see like an icon. This icon, you're going to see it pop up like a circle around here, and you're going to simply click on that, and will automatically subscribe. You'll see that. You'll see another reference video, something like that, in this area over here. If you happen to miss the, clicking the right areas, you can manually go to this YouTube channel and then subscribe, hit the subscribe button and subscribe. You wanna, if you're coming from YouTube and you found my channel, you wanna subscribe, because I'm gonna be placing I make a lot of updates, but sometimes the things change with stocks where I have to make updates, and I do that on StockTwits and on Twitter, right? So you can find me Power Trick or Trade, okay? It's on StockTwits. So it's on StockTwits, and I'm going to go to StockTwits right over here, and Power Trick or Trade is on Twitter. Okay. Let's go back to, so again, look for the circle here to subscribe to this Power Target Trades. Thanks for listening. So you'll see the circle in this my Sandro Power Trick or Trade circle. You'll see it over here. That's simply way to click to subscribe. Thanks for listening, people. Don't forget to like the video, make comments, and let's make a lot of money.